Why do we like Quentin Tarantino again? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the latest Quentin Tarantino movie, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm just gonna deviate from my usual scripted reviews and probably edit this thing down as little as possible compared to my usual reviews, man. Not just this movie, but Quentin Tarantino as a whole. I'm serious when I ask this question. What do you people see in this guy? And I'm not saying this as somebody who's trying to be provocative for the sake of being provocative. I'm not a troll, I'm not a hater. I'm trying to figure this out, legit. I am trying to understand why you people like Quentin Tarantino movies so much, because I have seen most of his movies. I haven't seen all of them, mind you. I've seen Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, both Kill Bills. I think I've seen Inglourious Bastards all the way through, if not all the way through, then at least enough to kind of figure out where the movie's going for sure. And just recently I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and every single time I'm just... If it isn't one thing, it's another. I swear to God, I just don't get it. This movie alone has an 85 out of 100 on Metacritic. It has an 8.8 out of 10 on IMDb. Why? What do you people see in this movie? What do you see in this guy? I'm still trying to figure it out because I find this guy to be annoying. I find his movies just rarely go anywhere interesting. It's just... Oh, God, I am going to get so much hate mail for this. I just know it. So, I decided to start my movie review out with something positive, and I'm trying to think of positives off the top of my head, and unfortunately the first one that comes out right out the gate here is, well, that theater had some really nice air conditioning. Lord knows this fucking heat dungeon I'm living in right now could really stand to use an upgrade. I mean, God, can you see this? I am sweating like crazy. The only other positive I can think of off the top of my head was that there is such a thing as raccoon-flavored dog food in this universe, and I just thought, dude, that's actually kind of funny. But beyond that, I genuinely did not like this movie, like, at all. Plot? Well, there isn't really much of a plot. It's basically just the story of two dudes, Rick, a famous Hollywood actor, and Cliff, the man who plays his stunt double. And that's basically the movie, from start to finish. Rick basically gets a part in this cowboy movie, and he goes into this, like, western town to film the movie while dealing with the existential dread that he's basically only going to be known as a spaghetti western actor. And that part of the movie actually kind of felt like it had an interesting direction, you know, like, this felt like it could have gone somewhere, and yet it didn't. And speaking of plots that go nowhere, then you get to Cliff, and what exactly is Cliff doing in this movie? Because it seems like all he does is get in a fight with a kung fu dude, and basically go out to a ranch and encounters the Manson family, and that's basically it. Oh yeah, and then there's the big scene at the end, big fight scene. Spoilers, I guess, whatever. Honestly, I didn't like this movie at all. And it's not that I went into this movie wanting to hate it. I rarely go into a movie theater, pay money, and sit down in that theater seat so that I can hate on a movie. That is not me. If I'm going to a movie theater, I'm at least hoping to get some kind of enjoyment out of this movie, even if it means Mystery Science theatering the shit out of it. And unfortunately, half the time I couldn't even do that because this movie was just so uninteresting to me. It went nowhere. I am gonna get so much hate mail for this. You know, there was a lot of background noise in this entire movie, like a lot of radio commercials for old products, a lot of old-time music from the late 60s, early 70s, excuse me. And there's a lot of footage from, like, old TV shows that were big at the time, like FBI and whatnot, and some of it is, like, legit footage, and some of it is, like, mocked-up footage featuring Rick Dalton And some of it is kind of like the Forrest Gump thing where it looks like real footage, but then they green screen in the main character of the movie to make him part of it, you know. And I feel like a lot of this was padding. I feel like a lot of this was like a distraction to hide the fact that this movie could have easily been shorter than it actually was. I genuinely felt like this movie could have easily been shorter. In fact, I kind of wonder, did we even need Cliff in this movie, like, at all? I mean, aside from the previously mentioned going to the Manson family ranch and whatnot, I mean, what was he even doing this whole time? I mean, was he basically just Rick's designated driver? I mean, what the hell? I'm gonna give you my score, but keep in mind, I've already explained that I don't like Quentin Tarantino movies, despite my best efforts to try and figure out what it is about these movies everybody likes, and despite me trying to fit in with the cool kids and trying to understand why these movies are brilliant. But keep that in mind when you hear this, because personally, I did not enjoy myself at all throughout this movie. 1 hat out of 4. And that's gonna do it, both for this movie review and possibly for my entire career on YouTube and maybe even my existence of life. Assuming the cinema-going crowd hasn't declared war on me, burst into my apartment, and hung me from the rafters for my blasphemous beliefs that Quentin Tarantino is anything less than spectacular. Be sure to come back next time for more great videos by yours truly. Be sure to do the "oh god, I hope I'm not wasting my time" medley. That's like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell to actually show that you want more videos. Until next time, oh boy, I'm gonna be dead by the end of this video.